Number 3 is Biloxi Blues, written by Frank Berry. 4 is Black Sand, Niall Byrne. 5, Celtic Shot, Jimmy Duggan. 6, Christian Shad, Alan Webb. 10, Fourth Tudor, Blinkered, written by Graham McCourt. 11, Have Faith, written by Mark Richards. 12, High Plains, Richard Dunwoody. 13, Hills Pageant, written by Kevin Mooney. 15, Kassan, written by John Short, his first ride at Cheltenham. 18, Mr. Parker, written by Richard Rowe. 19, Officer's Mess, Brendan Sheridan. 20, Outrider, Niall Madden. 22, Protection, Steve Knight. 26, Smith's Gamble, Peter Scudamore. 27, Special Vintage, Mark Dwyer. 28, Tartan Taylor, Phil Tuck. 29, Teletrader, Brendan Powell. 31, Welcome Pin, Tommy Carmody. 33, Au Revoir Jeune, written by Mr. Mark Wellings. And 37, Cuddy Dale, carrying the first colours of Mr. Jeff Hubbard, written by Miss G. Armitage. The second colours carried by Mr. Parker. Those are the 20 runners, and here's how they bet at the moment.
Well, you'd think with that field the betting would be spread a bit, but it's pretty open at the top. Kisane and Protection are joint favourites at 7-2. Welcome Pin is 5-1. That's come out from 7-2. Special Vintage and Teletrader 11-1. Have Faith 16-1. So is Tartan Taylor and Celtic Shot. 20-1 bar these.
This race traditionally, or nearly traditionally, went to the Irish. In fact, 7 years running, until the last 3 years went to the English-trained horses. There's one of the 6 fancied Irish horses in this race. 31 is Welcome Pin, changed hands recently, reputedly for £105,000. He's now with Pat Hughes. He was formerly with Paddy Mullins, and he stays forever. A good gallop will suit him. I'm surprised he didn't go for the longer race, the 2.5 mile race. But anyway, he'll stay up this hill, and that is important. Welcome Pin there in the yellow and blue hooped colours. A lot of horses of interest here. Just going through, there's 37, G. Armitage rides Cuddy Dale for Jeff Hubbard's got 2 runs. There is Kissan going through, number 5. Kissan, or 15 rather, Kissan there, lovely big horse, trained by Homer Scott, and Corals tell me they've been knocked sideways this morning. £100,000 they've laid this one this morning, and that is Irish money, so pouring on this Homer Scott horse. Lovely big horse, bred by Mrs. Joy Maxwell in Northern Ireland, and she's got a few half-brothers to this one. But there's Protection, that's just gone through the Joel colours. We'll catch up with him later. Cuddy Dale in the green and white sleeves. G. Armitage, she's got 5 good rides at the meeting here, going out to the right-hand side there. Then coming through in the white colours, the Blue Stars, 19. That's Officer's Mess, another Irish horse. Won a couple of bumpers races last summer and fell last time out. He was a real big danger. That was in February and was going well. That's in the Stars, the Blue Stars. Let's just pick a few of the others up in the green there, with the white spots out to the left, was Special Vintage. 22 is Protection there in the black colours, the red hat of Mr. Jim Joel, who I believe may be watching on television today. This is a class flat horse, formerly trained by Henry Cecil. Has a lot of ability, this fellow. After finishing 3rd first time out, was most impressive on his next 2 hurdle starts, especially at Sandown, where in fact he had Special Vintage 6 lengths behind him. But that was a good run. Goggles look as if they're coming down. Just try to spot a few more for you. The Ramsden colours just went through with 4th Tudor, trained by Alan Bailey. Kissan, the big sheepskin noseband nearest to us. The red hat there of Mr. Parker going out to the left. That is number 18. Josh Gifford trains this one. And the Orange Diamond, that is Hills Pageant. Fulk Warwin trains this one. Fulk been having a pretty lean time, only 10 winners this season. We're all hoping he hits form at the right time, because he belongs in the winner's enclosure here at Cheltenham. 20 runners for this, the first race of the National Hunt Festival 1987, Waterford Crystal Supreme Novices. There is 13, Hills Pageant, always been highly rated, but just had a bit of training problems. Looks as if they're lining up, and it's Welcome Pin who's bang up there on the tapes. Let's join Peter.
Yes, 20 runners being called in steadily. Under starters' orders, this the 10th running of the Waterford Crystal Supreme Novices Hurdle. And they're running, and Welcome Pin is one of the first to show. Jumps off very smartly indeed to race to the first of the 8 flights. Welcome Pin. Cassan towards the left of the picture with the sheepskin noseband. Between them, Telly Trader right up with them, and a faller there. And the faller, it's Celtic Shot. Celtic Shot has gone at the first and has brought down Au Revoir Jones, so two of them out of it. Neither jockey to rise, but both horses continuing riderless. And now it's Cuddy Dale and Miss G. Armitage bidding to be the first woman to ride a winner over hurdles at the National Hunt Festival in the lead, but being carried out by the loose horse. She's carried right out. Cuddy Dale is carried right out, and he's out of it. He's going to have to be pulled up. Welcome Pin is left in the lead. From Protection over on the far side, then comes Special Vintage. Behind them comes Mr. Parker. Behind Mr. Parker is High Plains, and then comes Hill Pageant and Cassan, and then Smith's Gamble and Telly Trader and Black Sand, with Outrider on the inside and Tartan Taylor next, followed by Have Faith. Then comes Fourth Tudor and Christian Shad and Officer's Mess, and the back marker is Biloxi Blues. So three of them are out of it. Both riders are up all right. G. Armitage is all right too, but three of them are out of it as they run down the hill. It's Welcome Pin for Ireland, From Protection for England. Then on the outside, Mr. Parker, Special Vintage and High Plains next, followed by Hills Pageant, and then comes Smith's Gamble. Cassan on the outside. As they jump the third, Welcome Pin jumps it clear of Protection. Cassan on the outside with Mr. Parker. Right up with them, Special Vintage and Hills Pageant and High Plains on the inside. Then comes Black Sand and Telly Trader and Outrider. Biloxi Blues is still the back marker, and Welcome Pin and Tommy Carmody making it. As they come down to the fourth of the 8 flights, Welcome Pin lands in the lead. Cassan improves on the outside. Protection holds his place on the inner. Mr. Parker close in fourth, with just behind him Black Sand. Special Vintage right up with them too, and Hills Pageant, but Welcome Pin with the advantage as they come to the next. This is the fifth. Welcome Pin lands in the lead. From Protection on the inside of Special Vintage. Cassan on the outside. Hills Pageant right up with them. A gap then to Black Sand and Telly Trader as they race towards the top of the hill. Welcome Pin with the advantage. 3 left to jump from Cassan and Hills Pageant. Then comes Protection and Special Vintage matching strides. Running down now towards the next, it's Welcome Pin for Ireland, From Cassan for Ireland. Just in behind them, Hills Pageant and Special Vintage. Protection on the inside. 3 from home. Welcome Pin landed in the lead. Welcome Pin, Tommy Carmody from John Short, riding at Cheltenham for the first time, in second place on Cassan. Then comes Protection in third now. Then Special Vintage and Hills Pageant as they jump the second last. And Cassan and Welcome Pin almost together there. Improving on the outside is Officer's Mess. Cassan has taken a fractional advantage now as they round the home turn. Outrider is coming there strongly too. It's Cassan being pressed now by Officer's Mess. Outrider, Hills Pageant, Welcome Pin. Protection under pressure over on the far side. Tartan Taylor coming there strongly too. Hills Pageant, Tartan Taylor and Hills Pageant. There's little between them as they race into the closing stages. It's Tartan Taylor and Hills Pageant as they race up towards the line. Tartan Taylor has it from Hills Pageant with Outrider finishing strongly. Tartan Taylor as they race to the line is going to win it. Tartan Taylor has won it from Hills Pageant second. Outrider is third, and fourth was Have Faith. So the result of the Waterford Crystal Supreme Novices Hurdle of 1987. First, number 28, Tartan Taylor, owned by the Edinburgh Woolen Mill Limited, trained by Gordon Richards at Penrith and ridden by Phil Tuck. Second was number 13, Hills Pageant, owned by Mr. Basil Thwaites, trained by Fulk Warwin and ridden by Kevin Mooney. And third was number 20, Outrider, owned by Mrs. Shani Morris, trained by Mouse Morris and ridden by Niall Madden. And officially it's a photograph for fourth place. A photograph between Have Faith and High Plains. But no doubt that Gordon Richards' stable has struck number one blow in this Waterford Crystal Supreme Novices Hurdle, as we can review.
What bad luck early on the second hurdle. Look at the horse in front, this side of the loose one. It's Cuddy Dale and G. Armitage cantering there, but now look, as the loose horse starts to come over, there's nowhere for G to go at all. She's being carried out all the time. What a heartbreaking moment that must have been for her. They were galloping strong. She couldn't pull back behind the fellow, and what's going through her mind, I would hate to think. But Protection jumps the hurdle on the inside there from the Irish horse Welcome Pin, and away they go. Welcome Pin leads the race for the majority of it. As they come for home, you can see that on the inside Welcome Pin is still there, being pressed by Kisan on his outside. These two had been in the van for a long time. Then comes the Irish Officer's Mess in the light colours, and Outrider in the red inside him. And on the wide outside now comes the eventual winner. This is Tartan Taylor. It's going to be Phil Tuck and Gordon Richards' 53rd winner of the season. In this, the first season they have teamed up. Phil, first jockey now for the Greystoke stable, come to the last with 7 of them in line there. And Phil Tuck gets a good jump from Tartan Taylor. I saw him fully 3/4 of an hour before the race. He was very much on his toes, champing at the bit, quite excited, and he knew where he was today and certainly came up the hill well. Well, Fulk Warwin, whose horses had been out of form, his horse here, Hills Pageant, in second place, running extraordinarily well. The Irish horse just fading there is Welcome Pin. He's run a good race, and funnily enough, although I thought he'd stay on, he didn't do, and it's left to Outrider to be the nearest Irish-trained horse home. But this beautiful horse, owned by the Edinburgh Wood and Mill Company, Tartan Taylor, comes home first with the first Irish horse, Outrider, back in 3rd place.
What a golden start to their combination Phil Tuck and Gordon Richards have made. That's number 53 of the season for Phil, and number 53 for his governor. Officially placed 4th was number 12, High Plains. And the distance is 1 length and 2.5 lengths. Tartan Taylor by Patch out of Court Time by Arctic Time. Winner now for the 4th time this season, and what a consistent horse he's been. This 14-to-1 winner of the opener, because he was second in his other 2 races. This just his 6th outing of the season. Second to Saffron Lord here over this course earlier in the season. Really battled up the hill. And there, the unfortunate G. Armitage following in Phil Tuck. G, who was carried out by the riderless horse at the first flight, carrying the first colours of Mr. Jeff Hubbard, whose first colours, whose second colours were carried by Mr. Parker. That's Welcome Pin with the hoops there. This is Kassan, who hit the front for Ireland, rounding the home turn, raised a lot of hopes there, but ultimately it was the horse behind him, Outrider, who did the best of the visitors. The Terry Ramsden colours and the hoops there on 4th Tudor, with Biloxi Blues following. And then Officer's Mess, who came there with a chance in the closing stages. Hills Pageant with the Diamond, who ran so well. And this the winner. And an enormous crowd here at Cheltenham to greet him. I would think we'll soon learn that this is the biggest first day crowd in National Festival history. The caterers certainly prepared for them. They've got 1,000 gallons of Guinness here to cater for the enormous crowds who will see £500,000 in prize money raised for during this great 3-day festival. So, as Tartan Taylor returns after the 10th running of this Waterford Crystal Supreme Novices Hurdle, the full starting price is as follows.
First, number 28, Tartan